My life was the epitome of stability and happiness. At least, that's what I thought. I met Anna during college, and we quickly became inseparable. She was everything I wanted in a partner: kind, intelligent, and driven. We dated for 4 years before I proposed, and 2 years later, we were married. We built a life together, filled with love and mutual respect. Or so I believed. Our home was our sanctuary, a modest but comfortable house in a quiet neighborhood. We decorated it together, filling it with memories and warmth. Every piece of furniture had a story, every photograph a cherished moment. I worked as a financial analyst, and Anna was a project manager at a tech company. We were both ambitious, and our careers flourished. We supported each other's dreams and celebrated each other's successes. Anna's job demanded long hours, but she always made time for us. I admired her dedication and often told her how proud I was of her accomplishments. We were blessed with 2 beautiful children, Emily and Jack. Emily, our eldest, was 6, and Jack was 4. They were the light of our lives. Every moment with them was precious, and Anna and I cherished the time we spent as a family. From weekend trips to the park to bedtime stories, we created a world of love and security for our children. Emily had Anna's inquisitive nature, always asking questions about the world around her. Jack, on the other hand, was more reserved, but his laughter was infectious, and his smile could light up a room. Our evenings were filled with laughter and shared stories. Anna and I would cook dinner together, and the kids would help set the table. After dinner, we'd play board games or watch a movie. Emily loved when Anna read her bedtime stories, her voice bringing the characters to life. I often stood by the door, listening to their giggles, feeling content and grateful for the life we had built. Anna had a way of making the mundane magical, turning simple moments into cherished memories. But cracks began to show, subtle at first, then more glaring. Anna's late nights at work became more frequent. She was often preoccupied, her mind elsewhere even when she was physically present. I attributed it to work stress and did my best to support her. I took on more responsibilities at home, hoping to lighten her load, but the distance between us grew. One evening, Anna came home later than usual. She looked exhausted, but there was something else. An air of detachment. She barely touched her dinner, claiming she wasn't hungry. After the kids went to bed, I approached her. "Anna, are you okay? You seem distant," I said, concern lacing my voice. She sighed, avoiding my gaze. "It's just work, Will. There's a lot going on. I'm sorry if I've been neglecting things here." I reached out, taking her hand. "We're a team, remember? You can talk to me about anything." She nodded, forcing a smile. "I know. Thank you, Will." But the unease lingered. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The following weeks were a blur of work and family obligations. Anna continued to come home late, and when she was home, she seemed distracted. I decided to give her space, hoping she would open up when she was ready. Then, one fateful day, my world came crashing down. It started like any other day. I kissed Anna goodbye as she left for work and got the kids ready for school. I headed to the office, trying to focus on my tasks. Around midday, I received a call from an unexpected source. Rebecca, a colleague who also happened to be a family friend. "Will, can we talk?" Rebecca's voice was hesitant, tinged with concern. "Sure, Rebecca. What's up?" I replied, puzzled. "I don't know how to say this, but I think you need to know. I overheard something at work. It's about Anna." My heart sank. "What do you mean? What did you hear?" Rebecca took a deep breath. "I overheard a conversation between Anna and her boss, Michael. It sounded intimate. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but it didn't sit right with me." I felt a cold chill run down my spine. "Are you sure? Maybe it was a misunderstanding." "I hope I'm wrong, Will, but I thought you should know." I thanked Rebecca, my mind reeling. Could it be true? I refused to believe it without evidence. I decided to confront Anna that evening, but fate had other plans. That night, Anna came home even later than usual. She looked flustered, avoiding eye contact. I could no longer ignore the gnawing suspicion. "Anna, we need to talk," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. She looked up, startled. "About what?" "About you and Michael. Are you having an affair?" The words felt foreign and bitter on my tongue. Anna's face went pale, her eyes widening in shock. "What? No, of course not. Who told you that?" "Rebecca overheard a conversation between you two. She thought it sounded intimate." Anna's eyes filled with tears. Will, it's not what you think. Michael and I are just friends. Yes, we've been working closely on a project, but that's it. I wanted to believe her, but the doubt had already taken root. Anna, I need you to be honest with me. Is there something going on? She shook her head, tears streaming down her face. No, Will, I swear, I would never do that to you or the kids. Her words offered little comfort. The seed of doubt had been planted, and it began to grow, casting a shadow over our once perfect life. The days that followed were a nightmare. I couldn't focus at work, and my interactions with Anna were strained. I watched her closely, looking for any sign of deception. Her late nights at the office continued, and each one felt like a dagger to my heart. I felt trapped in a never-ending cycle of suspicion and self-doubt, each day more unbearable than the last. One evening, while Anna was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. I glanced at the screen and saw a message from Michael. Looking forward to our next rendezvous. Maybe this time, no interruptions. My heart pounded in my chest. I picked up her phone, hands trembling, and unlocked it. The messages between Anna and Michael were damning. They spoke of secret meetings, stolen moments, and plans for future encounters. My worst fears were confirmed. When Anna came out of the shower, I was waiting for her in the living room, her phone in my hand. She froze, seeing the look on my face. Will, what are you doing with my phone? She asked, her voice shaky. I saw the messages, Anna. How long has this been going on? I demanded, struggling to keep my composure. She collapsed onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. I'm so sorry, Will. I never meant for it to happen. It started a few months ago. Michael and we just connected. I was lonely and stressed, and he was there for me. Lonely? Stressed? And that justifies cheating on me? On our family? I shouted, unable to contain my anger. Anna sobbed, her body shaking. I know I've hurt you. I don't have any excuse. I'm so sorry. I love you, Will. Please, don't leave me. I felt a mixture of rage, betrayal, and sorrow. How could you do this to us? To Emily and Jack? They deserve better than this. I know, she whispered. I'll do anything to make it right. Please, let's try to fix this. I stood there, looking at the woman I once loved with all my heart. The trust was shattered, and I didn't know if it could ever be repaired. I need time to think, I said finally. I can't deal with this right now. That night, I slept in the guest room, unable to face Anna. My mind raced with questions and doubts. How could she betray me like this? What did I do wrong? I felt like my entire life was falling apart. The next morning, I called Rebecca and told her everything. She was supportive, offering to help in any way she could. You don't deserve this, Will. You deserve someone who loves and respects you, she said gently. Her words brought a small measure of comfort, but the pain was still overwhelming. I decided to seek legal advice. I needed to know my options, both for my sake and for the kids. The lawyer I consulted was straightforward. Infidelity can complicate divorce proceedings, but it doesn't guarantee sole custody or a favorable settlement. We need to gather evidence and prepare for a potentially long and difficult battle. I nodded, feeling the weight of the situation. What about the kids? I want to protect them from this as much as possible. We'll work on a custody arrangement that prioritizes their well-being, the lawyer assured me. But you need to be prepared for a fight. I left the lawyer's office feeling both determined and despondent. This wasn't what I wanted for my family, but Anna's betrayal left me with little choice. When I returned home, Anna was waiting for me. Her eyes were red and puffy from crying. Will, please, let's go to counseling. We can work through this. I sighed, feeling exhausted. I'll go to counseling, but I don't know if it will change anything. You've broken my trust, Anna. I don't know if I can ever forgive you. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I understand, but I have to try. I love you and the kids so much, I can't lose you. Counseling was grueling. Each session was a painful reminder of Anna's betrayal. We delved into the reasons behind her affair, but her explanations offered little solace. She spoke of loneliness, stress, and feeling disconnected from me. I struggled to understand how these feelings could justify such a profound betrayal. Despite my anger, I tried to be civil for the sake of the kids. Emily and Jack were perceptive, sensing the tension between us. They asked difficult questions that I struggled to answer without revealing the painful truth. Why is Mummy crying? Emily asked one evening. Mummy and Daddy are going through a tough time, sweetheart. But we both love you very much, I replied, holding back my own tears. Jack, too young to fully understand, clung to me more than usual. His innocent questions and need for reassurance only deepened my resolve to protect them from the fallout. Anna moved into the guest room, and we established a routine that minimized our interactions. I focused on my work and the kids, trying to keep our lives as normal as possible. But the weight of Anna's betrayal was always there, a constant reminder of the life we had lost. One evening, while Anna was out, Rebecca came over to check on me. We sat on the porch, the cool night air providing a welcome relief from the suffocating tension inside the house. "How are you holding up?" she asked, her voice filled with genuine concern. "Not great," I admitted. "Every time I look at Anna, all I see is betrayal. I don't know if I can ever forgive her." Rebecca nodded, her expression sympathetic. "It's a lot to process, but you're doing the right thing by focusing on the kids. They need you now more than ever." Her support meant the world to me. Rebecca had been a family friend for years, and her loyalty and understanding provided a lifeline in this turbulent time. As the weeks passed, I found myself relying on Rebecca more and more. She was always there to lend an ear, offer advice, or simply be a comforting presence. Her friendship became a beacon of light in the darkness of my shattered world. One afternoon, as we were sitting in the park watching Emily and Jack play, Rebecca turned to me, her expression serious. "Will, there's something I need to tell you," she said, her voice hesitant. I looked at her, concerned. "What is it?" "I've always admired you, Will. Your dedication to your family, your strength through all of this. I never realized how much I cared for you until now." Her words caught me off guard. I had always seen Rebecca as a friend, but in that moment, I realized there was... The thought of a future without Anna was painful, but the idea of moving on with someone who genuinely cared for me was comforting. "I care about you too, Rebecca," I admitted, "but I need time to process everything. My priority right now is the kids." She nodded, expression ending. "Of course, take all the... I'll be here for you, no matter what." As the months wore on, the rift between Anna and me only deepened. Her betrayal had planted a seed of distrust, grew a thorny vine, taking the remnant. Once flourishing relationship, the kids sensed the tension, their innocent questions a painful reminder of the stability we had lost. Emily, ever perceptive, asked one evening, "Why doesn't Mummy tuck in anymore?" Smiled, hiding the turmoil within. "Mummy's been very busy with work, sweetheart, but she loves you very much." Jack, still too young to grasp the full extent of the situation, to me during bedtime stories, hands gripping my shirt as if afraid I might have disappeared too. After the kids had fallen asleep, the house eerily quiet. The weight of my thoughts pressed down on me like a suffocating blanket. I picked up Anna's phone again, unable to resist the urge to seek more answers. As I scrolled through the messages, a new one caught my eye. It was from Michael, and it read, "Miss you today. Can't wait to see you again." My blood ran cold. The betrayal was ongoing, and each message was a fresh wound. I felt a surge of anger and sadness, a storm of emotions that left me breathless. Anna walked in, me with her phone. "Need to talk," she said, her voice trembling. I looked up, my eyes filled with pain and fury. "There's no... You're still seeing him." She collapsed onto the couch, tears streaming down her face. "I don't know how to stop, Will. I feel trapped, and I don't know what to do." "Trapped?" I spat the word, incredulous. "You've destroyed our family, and you feel trapped? This was your choice, Anna. You made this mess." We sat in silence, the gravity of her actions hanging heavy in the air. Finally, she spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'll move out. It's the least I can do." The words should have brought relief, but instead they felt like a final nail in the coffin of our marriage. I watched as Anna packed her things, each item a reminder of the life we had built and the love we had lost. In the days that followed, I focused on the kids, trying to shield them from the fallout. Emily and Jack asked about their mother constantly, their innocent questions cutting deep. "Daddy, when is Mummy coming back?" Emily asked one morning. I knelt down to her level, taking her small hands in mine. Mommy loves you very much, Emily, but she needs some time away to figure things out. Jack, his eyes wide with confusion, echoed his sister's question. Is Mummy mad at us? I hugged them both tightly, fighting back tears. No, sweetheart, Mummy loves you both so much. This isn't your fault. Rebecca continued to be a pillar of support, her presence a balm for my wounded heart. We spent more time together, her friendship a source of comfort and strength. One evening, after a particularly difficult day, she came over with dinner and a bottle of wine. We sat on the porch, the cool night air a welcome relief. How are you holding up? She asked, her voice filled with genuine concern. Some days are better than others, I admitted, but I don't know what I would do without you, Rebecca. She smiled, her eyes warm. You don't have to go through this alone, Will. I'm here for you always. Our bond deepened, and I began to see a future with Rebecca that I had never imagined before. The thought of moving on was both terrifying and exhilarating, but her unwavering support gave me hope. One afternoon, as we were sitting in the park watching the kids play, Rebecca turned to me, her expression serious. Will, I care about you deeply, and I care about Emily and Jack. I want to be there for you, if you'll have me. Her words touched me deeply, and I felt a surge of emotion. Rebecca, I care about you too, but we need to take things slow, for the kids' sake. They need stability right now. She nodded, understanding. Of course, we'll take it one step at a time. The divorce proceedings were grueling, each step a painful reminder of the life that was crumbling around us. Anna and I met with our lawyers to discuss custody arrangements, property division, and the countless other details that came with ending a marriage. The process was emotionally draining, but I knew it was necessary for our future. Anna moved into a small apartment nearby, allowing her to stay close to the kids. We established a visitation schedule, and despite everything, we tried to maintain a civil relationship for Emily and Jack's sake. It wasn't easy, but our children's well-being was our top priority. One evening, as I was tucking Emily into bed, she looked up at me with wide, innocent eyes. Daddy, why can't Mummy and you live together anymore? The question was like a dagger to my heart. I took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. Sometimes, grown-ups have problems that they can't fix, no matter how hard they try. But that doesn't change how much we love you and Jack. Emily nodded, but I could see the confusion and sadness in her eyes. It was a pain I couldn't take away, no matter how much I wanted to. As the weeks turned into months, I focused on creating a stable and loving environment for the kids. We established new routines and traditions, finding joy in the little things. Movie nights, trips to the park, and weekend outings became our way of bonding and healing. Slowly, the house started to feel like home again, even without Anna. Rebecca continued to be a constant presence in our lives. Her friendship and support were invaluable, and I found myself relying on her more and more. One evening, after the kids had gone to bed, we sat on the porch, the cool night air a welcome relief. How are you holding up? She asked, her voice filled with genuine concern. Some days are better than others, I admitted. But I don't know what I would do without you, Rebecca. She smiled, her eyes warm. You don't have to go through this alone, Will. I'm here for you, always. Our bond deepened, and I began to see a future with Rebecca that I had never imagined before. The thought of moving on was both terrifying and exhilarating, but her unwavering support gave me hope. One afternoon, as we were sitting in the park watching the kids play, Rebecca turned to me, her expression serious. Will, I care about you deeply, and I care about Emily and Jack. I want to be there for you if you'll have me. Her words touched me deeply, and I felt a surge of emotion. Rebecca, I care about you too. But we need to take things slow for the kids' sake. They need stability right now. She nodded, understanding. Of course, we'll take it one step at a time. As the months passed, Rebecca and I continued to support each other. Our bond grew stronger, and we began to explore the possibility of a future together. It wasn't easy, but with time, I started to see a glimmer of hope. One weekend, we took the kids to the beach. It was a perfect day, filled with laughter and sunshine. Emily and Jack adored Rebecca, and seeing them happy brought me immense joy. As we watched the sunset, Rebecca turned to me, a smile playing on her lips. "This feels right, doesn't it?" she asked, her eyes sparkling. I nodded, feeling a sense of peace. "Yes, it does." Life began to take on a new rhythm. Rebecca and I grew closer, and our relationship provided a sense of stability and hope for the future. Emily and Jack adjusted well to the changes, and their happiness became my guiding light. Anna remained a part of our lives, and we worked hard to maintain a positive co-parenting relationship. It wasn't easy, but we both understood the importance of putting the kids first. Over time, the anger and resentment began to fade, replaced by a mutual respect for the roles we each played in our children's lives. Rebecca and I took things slow, careful not to rush into anything. We spent time together as a family, building new memories and traditions. She became a second mother to Emily and Jack, her love and care evident in every interaction. One evening, as we were sitting on the porch, Rebecca turned to me, her expression serious. "Will, I love you, and I love Emily and Jack. I want to build a life with you if you're ready for that," she said, her voice filled with sincerity. I took her hand, feeling a rush of emotions. "I love you too, Rebecca, and I'm ready. Let's build a future together." Our journey hadn't been easy, but we had found a way to heal and move forward. The pain of Anna's betrayal would always be a part of my past, but it no longer defined my future. With Rebecca by my side, I felt a sense of hope and possibility. We took things one day at a time, building a life filled with love and laughter. Emily and Jack thrived in this new environment, their smiles and laughter a testament to the strength of our family. As I stood on the porch one evening watching the sunset with Rebecca, Emily, and Jack, I felt a sense of peace. Our lives had taken an unexpected turn, but we had found a way to navigate the challenges and come out stronger. "Thank you for being there for us," I said to Rebecca, my voice filled with gratitude. She smiled, her eyes shining with love. "Always, Will, always." In that moment, I knew that no matter what the future held, we would face it together as a family. And for the first time in a long while, I felt truly hopeful. With the foundation of our new family solidified, Rebecca and I began to explore the idea of making our relationship more official. The kids had adjusted remarkably well to having Rebecca in their lives, and it felt like the right time to take the next step. One evening, after the kids were in bed, Rebecca and I sat down to talk about our future. "Will, I've been thinking a lot about us and the kids. I love them, like they are my own, and I love you. What do you think about us moving in together?" I smiled, feeling a wave of warmth wash over me. "I think that's a wonderful idea, Rebecca. We've built something beautiful together, and I want to share my life with you." The decision was met with excitement from Emily and Jack, who were thrilled at the prospect of having Rebecca around all the time. We found a new house that suited our growing family, a place where we could create new memories and continue to heal. Moving in together brought its own set of challenges, but it also brought us closer. We navigated the complexities of blending our lives, finding a balance that worked for everyone. Rebecca's presence brought a sense of stability and joy that had been missing for so long. One afternoon, as we were unpacking boxes in our new home, Emily ran up to me, holding a picture she had drawn. It was a family portrait, with me, Rebecca, Emily, and Jack all smiling together. "Look, Daddy, our new family." I felt a lump in my throat as I looked at the drawing. "It's beautiful, Emily, just like our family." Rebecca came over, her eyes filled with love as she looked at the drawing. "You've got quite the artist here, Will." "She gets it from her mother," I said, my voice tinged with a mix of sadness and gratitude. Despite everything, Anna had given me two beautiful children, and for that, I would always be thankful. As the months passed, we settled into our new life. Rebecca and I continued to grow closer, our bonds strengthening with each passing day. The kids thrived, their happiness a constant source of joy. One evening, as we were sitting on the porch watching the sunset, Rebecca turned to me, her expression serious. "Will, there's something I want to ask you." I looked at her curious. "What is it?" She took a deep breath, her eyes shining with emotion. "Will you marry me?" I was taken aback, my heart swelling with love and gratitude. "Rebecca, I would be honored to marry you." The proposal was met with cheers from Emily and Jack, who were over the moon at the prospect of having Rebecca as their official stepmother. We planned a small, intimate wedding, surrounded by our closest friends and family. The wedding day was perfect. As I stood at the altar watching Rebecca walk down the aisle, I felt a sense of peace and happiness that I hadn't felt in a long time. She was my rock, my partner, and my best friend. As we exchanged vows, I looked into her eyes, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. Rebecca, you have brought so much joy and love into my life. I promise to love and cherish you, to support you, and to build a beautiful life together. She smiled, her eyes filled with tears. Will, you are my heart, my love, and my home. I promise to stand by you, to love you and the kids with all my heart, and to create a future filled with happiness and love. The ceremony was simple yet beautiful, a testament to the love and commitment we shared. As we celebrated with our friends and family, I felt a sense of hope and possibility for the future. Years passed, and our family continued to grow and thrive. Emily and Jack flourished in their new environment, their bond with Rebecca growing stronger each day. Rebecca and I built a life filled with love, laughter, and countless cherished memories. Anna remained a part of our lives, and we worked hard to maintain a positive, co-parenting relationship. She found her own path, and while the pain of betrayal would always be a part of our past, it no longer defined our present or future. One summer evening, as we sat on the porch watching the sunset, Rebecca turned to me, her expression filled with contentment. We've come a long way, haven't we? I nodded, feeling a deep sense of peace. Yes, we have, and I wouldn't change a thing. Our journey had been filled with challenges and heartache, but it had also brought us to a place of love and happiness. We had built a beautiful life together, one that was filled with hope and possibility. As I looked at Rebecca, Emily, and Jack, I knew that no matter what the future held, we would face it together, as a family. And for the first time in a long while, I felt truly hopeful. Our new life was not without its challenges, but we faced them with strength and love. We built new traditions, created new memories, and found joy in the little things. Rebecca and I continued to support each other, our bond growing stronger with each passing day. As Emily and Jack grew, they flourished in their new environment. They excelled in school, made new friends, and pursued their passions. Their happiness was a constant source of joy and pride for Rebecca and me. One afternoon, as we were sitting in the backyard, Emily turned to me with a smile. Daddy, I'm so happy we have Rebecca. She's the best. I felt a lump in my throat as I looked at her. I agree, Emily. We're very lucky to have her. Rebecca came over, her eyes filled with love as she looked at us. I'm the lucky one, she said, her voice filled with emotion. Our journey had been filled with ups and downs, but it had brought us to a place of love and happiness. We had built a beautiful life together, one that was filled with hope and possibility. As I stood on the porch one evening, watching the sunset with Rebecca, Emily, and Jack, I felt a sense of peace. Our lives had taken an unexpected turn, but we had found a way to navigate the challenges and come out stronger. Thank you for being there for us, I said to Rebecca, my voice filled with gratitude. She smiled, her eyes shining with love. Always, Will, always. In that moment, I knew that no matter what the future held, we would face it together as a family, and for the first time in a long while, I felt truly hopeful.
Subscribe to the channel and share your impressions in the comments.